Hey YouTube, Jim here. Welcome to Top 10 Archive. As human beings, we're well aware of our temporary existence here on Earth. And knowing that, we have something inside of us that just wants to leave a legacy to at least let others know that we existed. Some create world-changing vaccines or make great discoveries or create great pieces of music. Well, regardless, we love to leave a gift for those who come after us. That is, unless you find something scary enough to be in our list of 10 creepiest things found in time capsules. Now, before we get started, why not join the ranks of an archivist by subscribing today and by clicking the notification bell to receive future updates? If you wind up liking this video, why not give it a thumbs up and share it with all of your friends? Finally, leave us a comment of what you would like to leave in a 100-year time capsule for future generations to uncover.
Number 10. Footage from a mental hospital. Construction workers in Indiana were hardly the targeted audience for this footage left behind in 1958 at an Indiana mental hospital. During a renovation, workers found a time capsule containing a video of a message about electroshock therapy and psychiatric medication. They believed that in the future, these types of therapies would be the solution to a lot of problems. The audio wasn't the best, but it's available to listen to. While it may be sad that some of the audio was lost forever, it really makes it all the more mysterious and creepy. Number 9. Alleged serial killer trophies. Clothing, photos, a camera, softball medallions, these all don't scream intentional time capsule if you find them buried. Instead, they give off the impression that the items were not supposed to be found. This was allegedly the case for a man who found a girl's belongings buried in the woods near a residential area. He approached police with the information, fearing it could be serial killer trophies or even evidence of a crime. But there's no information about if he ever heard back. The police were skeptical, thinking that they were likely buried memorabilia. But looks a little too creepy in my opinion. Number 8. Century-old whiskey bottle. One could argue that aged alcohol is itself a short time capsule, except instead of getting tattered and old with age, it's supposed to get way better. It also has no message from the past besides whiskey was and still is good. When construction workers found a time capsule from 1894 with a bottle of whiskey inside, they were definitely intrigued. The time capsule was a simple metal box found in a bridge outside of a town called Kingussie. Old and rusted, it held normal things that people bury for others to find. Among the items were old newspapers, a scroll, and this gem. It's been so long since that time capsule was placed in the bridge that even the vehicles themselves are entirely different. When the capsule was placed, horses were the ones using the bridge, not cars. DUIs were also probably not a thing, so this whiskey would have come in handy. Number 7. Atomic bomb souvenir. As we've seen in our first 3 examples, most of the time, capsules are more romanticized than reality. In fact, they're really just a bunch of old stuff in a rusty box. It's less like finding treasure and more like finding your sister's diary if your sister's diary had old nail clippings inside. That's right, nails! A capsule made in 1970s Japan contained, among regular items, a human fingernail from a victim of the Hiroshima atomic bomb attack. While the war and the bomb itself is certainly worth noting, perhaps a photo or two would have been reminder enough? The time capsule, one of 2 identical capsules buried to be opened in 2 different years, also contained a slinky, glass eyeballs, items documenting the arts, and objects related to the current social and natural sciences. Number 6. Message to the Soviet youth of the world of 2024. In 2012, Russia uncovered a time capsule beneath a Lenin statue. Inside was a letter written on a huge piece of paper more than a yard wide, addressed to the Socialist Society of the future, specifically for the year 2024. Its creators buried it 33 years before its discovery to the date. It's possible that the time capsule was a celebration of the 55th anniversary of the Cosmomol being named after the Russian leader. The letter itself would be inspirational if it wasn't urging the entire nation to be more communist than they were themselves. It encourages readers to be courageous and to know that Lenin will always be with them. That's slightly unsettling. Number 5. World War II Missile. In 2017, a bomb scare shocked New York when construction workers found a package in the shape of a World War II bomb. They were digging at what was previously Danceteria, a nightclub frequented before by world-renowned artists like Madonna, Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, among others. Back in the 1980s, celebs came up with the idea and purchased the capsule, filling it with letters and other contributions placed inside for a 3-week period during their wild parties, until finally burying it in an alley next to the dance club. Once the authorities found it, they had to bring in a bomb squad to barricade the perimeter. Number 4. Islam Future Prediction. Most capsules contain letters and photos of time past. Something like, "Hey, future Jim, past Jim, just telling you that you're still looking good." As if we need a reminder. Well, this particular time capsule, though, held a dark but very real prediction of our future. The letter was printed and typed in regular font with the very obvious intention of informing future leaders both of the past and their own time. It states that it was written at Easter in 1995 and tells the story of the house and its price when bought in 1989. The writer talks about the boom of the internet, the exploitation of natural resources, and AIDS. Then, after explaining his own context, writes his predictions, which were pretty spot on. Most accurately, he predicts Islam will be the next ideological power leading to a holy war, and the rise of China as an economic superpower. He also stated that Australia would remain a great place to live, unless, of course, China took them out. But there were other predictions that didn't quite pan out, like Paul Keating becoming Prime Minister of Australia. Number 3. Peter Pan Mummies. Expecting treasure, a woman opened a trunk she found in her building's basement, expecting, at the very least, a nice time capsule. Little did she know, this capsule was a lot more gruesome than she would have wanted. Inside, they did find 1930s newspaper clippings and artifacts, but also the cadavers of 2 children, a copy of Peter Pan, a membership to the Peter Pan Woodland Club, and other memorabilia. What's stranger yet is that the trunk had the name Janet M. Barrie on it. Peter Pan was written by J. M. Barrie, though the children were proved to have no relation to the author, and their mother, Janet Barrie, simply held the same name. The cause of death of the children is unknown, and we imagine the woman who found them later went to therapy to overcome that trauma. Number 2. Church Capsule in the Butt. There isn't anything that out of the ordinary about the contents of this time capsule. Sure, it contained a document dated 1777 and has handwritten documents inside depicting the time when they were written. But the creepy part? It was found inside a Jesus statue in a Spanish church right inside the butt. The intention was definitely to inform future generations of a time past by including information about common illnesses of the time, the location of the city court, the name of the newspapers, and even a mention about the Inquisition. Still, though, the question remains, why the butt? And why were they looking there? Number 1. A body. If we've learned anything in this list thus far, it's more often than not, trunks, boxes, and other containers you may find don't have anything fun or interesting. When it's interesting, it usually isn't fun. This is the case for a North Carolina woman who opened her new second-hand freezer, bought for $30, despite being told not to by the previous owner. The seller claimed they'd pick up the contents of the freezer, but the woman didn't wait for that to happen. When she opened it, she found her freezer's previous owner's mother. Dead, of course. After the immediate shock, she filed a claim with the police. Thanks for watching. What would be the top 10 items you might put into a time capsule for a future generation to uncover? Let us know in the comments. Remember to subscribe, click the bell, give the video a like, and be sure to share the video right away.